What radio? The music you want.
With your host, Keys Dan.
Want to do the monkey with me?
RadioWhat.com. What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. And maybe you can have me at your next event playing for the people. I have the mobile DJ equipment and will travel the digital wheels of steel. Make the people happy at their happiest times. I get to be with people at their happiest times. It kind of makes me feel good. I get the energy from folks. Today on the program, Meosha Bean. I know if you've been a long and loyal listener of What Makes You Famous, you'll know that I had a podcast with Meosha Bean back in August of 2019, and we're going to catch up with her a little bit and find out what's going on, the latest projects in Meosha Bean. This week's shows, well, thanks to the novel COVID-19 coronavirus, there are no public shows, there are no private shows. I will be doing a lot of podcasting. You'll get to hear my voice in your ears if you listen to this feed, and also the What Makes You Smarter podcast as well. I'll be giving the news reports on that, making myself smarter. And if you want to listen, hey, you get smarter too. So stay indoors best you can and be safe out there. This little bug's not going to kill us all. We will prevail. All right, it's time to get into it with Meosha Bean, find out what's going on in her neck of the woods. She's out there in California. So calling Meosha Bean now.
Hello.
Meosha Bean.
Hello.
What is up? Keys
How's it going?
Oh, it's so good. Keys Dan with the What Makes You Famous podcast. Oh, man. How's it going out in California?
It's going, it's going. Lots of people kind of freaking out a bit, but everybody for the most part we're California people they're kind of the hardest people to make do things, and so a lot of people are still kind of out and about, but for the most part, people are inside. The ones I know are quarantined or staying inside, trying to listen to the directions of what they're telling us to do. So if we got to go out to get food and things like that, we can do those things. But social events are out. They closed a few parks, so we can't go to parks anymore at the moment. So yeah, everything is kind of real. Yeah.
Meosha Bean, as we record this in March of 2020, for those listening in March of 2030 and beyond, a little history lesson, a little time capsule. Tell the people what is going on. Why are people quarantined?
Oh, well, the coronavirus, actually, it's this virus, I hear that came from China, kind of made its way to us somehow, honestly, it doesn't matter where it comes from and who's it affecting. It actually it's affecting everyone, and it's pretty fast with people getting in contact with others and just germs. And this virus is really just a germ one. It's washing your hands, and this virus actually can live up to I think 72 hours of contact or something like that. It's it lasts a long time. And for what I've, learned about this virus is that it's just important to keep washing your hands and to be kind of far away a distance from some people, 3 to 6 feet from people, that like social events and places like that. So that's why we're kind of locked down at the moment.
Meosha Bean, it is, it's amazing. I was washing hands before it was trending.
Right.
It's starting to become kind of a horror story. You see what I'm doing
really
here?
Is.
You see what I'm doing here? I'm kind of twisting things.
Yeah.
Because you're a horror film aficionado, a horror film maker, amongst other things. I'm guessing that you'll branch out into different genres, but that's where that's the lane you're currently driving in. And people are stuck indoors. And what are they going to do? They're going to watch their movies on their streaming services. And what do you have?
Well,
I got a streaming service. My Amazon Prime comes with streaming. So if you pay for Amazon Prime, you might get to watch some films. And for those people that listen to this podcast often, they know that I do not generally do my homework for these things, but I did my homework. I watched your latest project. Tell the people what that is.
So it's a volume 3. It's a series of shorts that I directed with some amazing people, actors and actresses, and it's really a volume 3 because I've done volume 1, 2, and I've been having people ask me, okay, what about volume 3, and kind of giving me kind of their ideas of what they would like to see as in a short. So I some of the shorts that I've done, when I make them, I like to have them on platforms, and because I think some of the actors are just they need to be seen, so I figured out, okay, let's put it all together as volume 3 because there was enough content that I had that I felt like it would be a great way to put it all together, and it's kind of dealing with paranormal and in the horror genre and just kind of that psychological kind of theme, and I just kind of took those concepts and each one feels a little different. I hope, and some have little to no dialogue because I really think those are really, for me, are kind of the creepiest ones where it's just you're just like immersed in a short and it's like, okay, what's happening? Oh, interesting, and just kind of David Lynch kind of vibes.
Oh yeah. I knew back in the 60s they would take their time to build things up. Now with shorts, you really can't take your time. You got to jump right in with both feet and head first and go. And that's what you do. A lot of times the people, me, I can only speak for myself. I watch films and sometimes I think, wow, this thing is just way too long. They could have told this story in about half the time. And with the advantage of shorts is that you could tell a little bitty story, bam, throw it out at them. For people with a short attention span, which is a lot of people, from what I'm hearing and from what I'm told, is you got to get them on their feet and before you knock them off their butts or what have you. I think I'm mixing metaphors here, but Meosha Bean, yes, the paranormal is the through line in your latest.
Yes.
So I'm watching it and I'm going, oh, look at all these little Easter eggs. Because what are the name of the radio station when Lou Pizarro is out there, and I'm like, I know what she did there. And the T-shirt that you're wearing, I see you on the screen, and I go, look at that T-shirt.
I love it. You awesome Easter egg. Fun.
So people look for that. Tell the people more, Meosha Bean. I want to know everything. That's a very small spoiler. Look for Easter eggs. But are there more? Or did you plan that?
A little bit I did plan. For the Lou Pizarro one, I felt like that would be a really fun one because obviously, I love Lou Pizarro. His team, they're wonderful people, and I've known him now for a few years now. Well, yeah. So we've always wanted to do something together. We're still in talks about doing something together, and I had this short idea. It was I was like, you know what? How about, because he does his radio show called Repo Radio, his amazing team, and they're awesome. And so we were like, let's do it at the studio, like you're actually doing a show, and you have this person who's kind of a stalker-ish person, but let's just say, because that could be the worst case scenario. I'm like, have you ever had those situations in your years of being a podcaster, radio host, and all those things? Because he's and he was like, let's do it, whatever you want to do. So he was so down, and I felt like that would be something fun. But the person on the other end is not human like. It's like, oh, what if that person was stalking you, but they're dealing it with the paranormal world.
Oh my goodness. And I worked a lot of radio, terrestrial radio in South Florida. And I did have a lot of, I had fans, and people, when you're talking to them on the radio, they're listening in their cars, they start to feel like, oh, they know you as a filmmaker. They see you up on the big screen and they go, wow, I'm getting to know that person, Meosha Bean. I want to do things for that person. I want to get closer to that person, and people would bring me, gifts and food. Food, I was always iffy on. If they brought me like turkey dinner on or around Thanksgiving, I was like, should I be eating this from this person
Right.
that just came off the streets? So yeah, as a radio host, I definitely got the feels on that particular segment in your film. Oh my goodness!
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for making that little short just for me. I know it was just for me. So MVB and Films Anthologies Volume 3, Paranormal, available on Amazon. More, please. Meosha Bean, tell me your thoughts on everything. And it doesn't just have to be about that particular project. You've already talked a little bit about the quarantine. Is that all over the state going on right now?
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's to the point where, I mean, I don't think people understand the severity of and I'm not saying to say this to be like scared or anything, because nothing to, don't live in fear. Don't get me wrong. I totally don't. But when I have friends, for me, it hit home when, you have someone that you're pretty close to that says that, that they have it. It's another thing. It's like, oh, okay, this is real. Like, because you hear it in the news, but when you hear someone that has contracted the coronavirus, it becomes more like, oh, the severity of it is much, much higher. So,
has it come that close to you, Meosha Bean? Do you know some people that have it?
Oh, I know definitely one in particular. That person told me that they have it, and we talked over the phone. And then I was just like, oh my God, asking them a lot of questions, because, we only know what we know from what this coronavirus is or what they tell us. But I feel like it's really important for us to, if there's information that does come out about it, it's definitely very important. And for us to go and search and figure out what it is, because, there's new developments developing every day, just being discovered about this virus. And I know it does. I'm not trying, and again, I'm not trying to scare anyone, but what I've learned recently, there's a video on the Red Table Talks, which is Will Smith's wife. She has a show on Facebook, and she has a doctor that comes on, and they're sitting down as a family, and this doctor comes on through via Skype or whatever, and they're having this interview and talk about the coronavirus, and he's talking about the nuances that they've learned about this disease or this virus, and how it is it's a little bit airborne as well. So that's why they stress people to stay inside, because it takes 2 weeks for them to know from the last person you had contact with, like in person. Like, it depends on if you're being quarantined together, and your guys are sitting in the room, that's different. But like, if you're just going outside of that and meeting new people, then from that contact, you have to wait 2 weeks to know if you have it or not, because the symptoms don't show until like that, around that time. And I was like, so that's why we can't be close to people. And he was like, yeah, because of the guy was saying that the virus, you could be talking, and the person that has it, who's a carrier and it doesn't show symptoms, because some people are just carriers and they don't show symptoms. They can just pass it along. That from that contact with that person, and you're not hugging, you're just kind of in their facility. You also now have it just because of that encounter.
Yeah.
And you would never know until, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
How's your friend holding up? I mean, because I'm here. All right, as of last week, and I do another podcast that's trying to make me smarter, called What Makes You Smarter? And I'm learning things. I'm trying to learn things about everything, not just the coronavirus. That is the topics that's on people's mind right now. But I want to learn about everything. And from what I heard last week or so, there were 82,000 cases that were cured. That's
a wonderful thing.
That's the thing. Beautiful. You got to hold on to that hope. Don't live in fear, live in vigilance. I think was one of the last things that I heard.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, continue. I mean, what other thoughts you have?
I totally agree with that. I believe that, like you said, don't live in fear, because, and you're right. Just be smart about, where you're going. And if you have to get out of the house to go and take a walk, get some fresh air, but do it with less people around. I think that's the less contact you have with people, the better. So for me, I got up today and I went for a walk. It's no one outside, so it's it's perfect. It's like I am Legend. I feel like I'm Legend. It's so funny.
Well, I feel like, fresh air and the fact that I ate dirt as a kid, my immunities are probably a little higher. I use gas station bathrooms and that paper roll, that
Yeah.
continuous paper roll. I
Right.
feel like I have strength and immunity, and I do have to go outside. You have to go get your groceries. You have to go get try to find your toilet paper. How's the
Yeah.
situation over there, by the way?
Yeah, the toilet paper. I mean, thank God there's some places that are out still, but some places that you know of. We have a good friend of ours that what happens, he'll just deliver it outside, and we'll just grab it from here to there. He'll deliver it to our door. Which
You
is
heard it
great.
here first. Meosha Bean has a TP connection.
Which was really, I mean, it's really lovely that it, also, in all of this, in hindsight, the beautiful thing about this pandemic and this really sad situation that's happening to a lot of people around the world is that we are coming together, and we're it's like we have a sense of community. We're calling each other, we're calling our friends, we're video chatting. So just kind of getting back connected to what we kind of lost, because we can all be so busy in our day. And for me, I'm always busy. So the fact that I can slow down and actually smell the roses and talk, call my friends, tell them I love them. Hey, I'm thinking about you today. And my family. It's a wonderful thing.
It is a wonderful thing, Meosha Bean, and the creators in particular. A lot of musicians are losing their jobs. Venues getting canceled. They're taking to doing online streaming concerts with a little PayPal link underneath, or to try to get a couple tips here and there. Some people are creatives such as yourself. You count on other people to hold a camera, to be the actor. To get together and do projects. How are you keeping yourself busy?
That's a good question. I mean, I have a lot of content like friends that are, creatives, actors, filmmakers who are all in this situation. I mean, we're in LA, right? It's like I think as a whole, like Los Angeles, I could feel that energy. But I feel like a lot of people are making the best of what they have. And so like a lot of my friends are doing like push-up challenges, or from virtual push-up challenges, or staying creative, like writing a book, or a new short film or something, getting things done that they haven't gotten done, like cleaning the garage that's been dirty for years, just things like that. I think that's what we're trying to do. And for me personally, what I've been doing is, like I said, thank God, like a lot of my content that I've been putting out, and like this Amazon thing that I just released. I mean, honestly, that was going to come out March 22nd, and then it comes out now. It's like, oh, and then I get a call from Amazon. It's like, oh, now your film is live. So that was really lovely to get that during this time, and just continuing to create projects. I have YouTube as well. So my YouTube channel, I get paid through my YouTube channel. From being a YouTube partner. So a lot of my videos are still making money on its own. So thank God I have those kind of things that I've done. And, for me, it's like like certain things I have to edit, I sent to clients, I've gotten those done. So that was nice. So there's a lot of things that I still have to do. I have a lot of work that I'm catching up on, honestly. So this is actually a good time. It's not horrible, but I feel bad for those that has, they're being laid off their jobs, and, have nothing else coming in, so I've heard though that through the Trump administration or someone, they were talking about how they're going to send checks. I'm not really sure when that's happening. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I tell you, I'll be the first person to make a video and say, oh my God, it actually happened.
Our money is pretty much worthless now. And old Donnie says, how much you need? $1 trillion? Hold on. Let me print that out for you. A more worthless paper. There you go. There's $1 trillion. So yeah, I mean, political aside, but you mentioned going outside, and for me, I think going outside would be the way to go. The sunshine kills germs. The exercise and sweat and gets rid of all the bad stuff inside you.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. But and then me being from Florida, I used to go to the beaches all the time, and the governor just closed the beaches. Salt water,
I'm so
sand,
sorry.
sun. Salt water used to clean all the ailments, man. If I had a cut on my leg, get out in the salt water, bam, cut, fixed, done. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, are the beaches closed out there in California?
Well, thank God, the Venice Beach is still open. That's still open. A few places are still open. Like, we can go outside. It's just, even if I want to go for a hike, I usually go to Runyon Canyon, the one in right there in Hollywood. It's just, there's a sign now. It says, walk a distance, walk 3 feet to 6 feet from people. So there's not a lot of people walking or doing hiking up there, but when you do see people are like really far from each other, which is good. I'm glad people are listening to this, so this is good. But yeah, people are still walking and driving their cars and stuff here. I mean, I think we have to do that, instead of, go insane.
I'm a hugger. I like to hug.
Oh man, me too. I do too. Oh my God, my family knows I'm such a hugger, but I have not hugged in like 10
I
days.
get it. Well, I did maybe a bad thing yesterday. I DJ'd a wedding in North Little Rock, Arkansas, and there were probably about 30 people in this big room. We're all in the 20 to 50 range. There were no old people. I guess there were a couple of kids, maybe there were, but everybody was healthy, and the doors were open, and the windows were open, and the air and the sunshine was good, and we kind of closed it up early. But there was a vibe. Usually when I have the couple do their first dance, I tell them, hey, go around and say hello to everybody. And they were kind of standoffish. They were like, and I went, well, that got weird quick. Let's do the first dance. So those social distancing, I couldn't imagine a rock climber that was supposed to be maybe tethered to another rock climber. If they were doing that, what are you, 6 feet apart, please, 6 feet apart.
6 feet apart. Sorry, sir. No, but I think what I like about this whole situation is that people are listening. And I think that the sooner we listen and stay inside and, be quarantined. I know it sucks right now, but there's a lot of things that we can do inside. Make a vision board, like you said, work out. You have a gym home, because our gym's closed here. We can't really go to gyms like that. Certain gyms are open, but that's the risk that we take going to the gym because of, the the germs that
bodily fluids,
sweat, right? Yeah. Bodily fluids.
People don't wipe down their stuff.
Right. Well, some people don't. Jesus Christ.
No, and I do what I can at home. I got the Wii Fit. It seems to work out pretty good, and a couple weights here. But
that's good.
I'm not the biggest exerciser. I should be, but I'm not. If people look at my picture, they'll go, oh yeah, that guy doesn't exercise too much. No. But you're still going outside, and you're able to get to the. I mean, the governor said California's closed. 4.5 million people are pretty much in lockdown. From Arkansas, we see, wow, you're all in jail now, pretty much. With very few limitations where you can go out. But the thing about creators, and this popped into my head a couple minutes ago, is that you're one of your personality types is a hustler. You'll put your fingers into different things. I'll podcast. I'll get on the radio. If I can't DJ on the streets, hey, I'll podcast about it. We'll talk.
Yeah.
I'll talk to somebody. Have a good conversation with Meosha Bean, which I'm doing right now, getting your thoughts. And you have great thoughts out there in California, the situation. What exact part? I mean, you're right in Hollywood or a little around that?
I'm literally 10 minutes from Hollywood. Mm-hmm. So it's considered West LA, but it's still, literally 10. I can drive 10 minutes and see, the Hollywood sign and all downtown Hollywood and all that stuff. But,
for those people that haven't heard the podcast that I did with Meosha Bean back in August of 2019, I encourage you to look that up. Get a little more of Meosha's life story. Right now, we're just talking about what's going on today in Meosha Bean's life and the latest project that you have out there and some of the other projects that you might be working on if you care to disclose.
Yeah, there's a few things that I'm working on. I mean, there's so much content, there's so much material that's creating itself, honestly. I mean, just from memes to like with the coronavirus, but I think at this time I'm doing a little bit of like I have some sketch ideas. I think it will be hilarious because I think a lot of people can relate about this whole washing hand things. And, just the fact of how scared people are and I think people need to laugh right now. So I kind of got an idea because the Ellen DeGeneres I, show. She has a page I follow on Instagram, and she's literally just home calling all her like famous friends. It is hilarious, and she's quarantined, and you can see how bored she is. But the fact that she's sharing those moments with us, it's like really refreshing because it's like, oh, you're going through this too. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You're not at work either.
I definitely have to check that out. I mean, how people are dealing with this and staying inside, staying indoors. I have a family I need to take care of, so I have to get out and go hunt and gather, if you will.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and I think right now I have a few projects that are very definitely inspired by this movement that this this unfortunate movement. But I think for me, what I love right now is having like this conversation right now that we're talking about it and kind of getting some information out there for people that don't really know about this. I think people are not really. I don't think people really know the seriousness around it, and it's not to say that it's not like to be fearful, but just the fact that it's a serious thing. It is really happening. And you just don't want this to happen to your friends or family. So
I'll tell you,
mindful.
I'm guilty. I didn't take it seriously. I don't take it seriously. I figure, all right, I'm strong. I can help the people that are weaker. If they need some help, if somebody needs some groceries, you give me a call. I'll do my best to
go. That you're doing that.
Oh my! Wow. But I would hope that the people that aren't feeling sick would do that. Would help a friend, a neighbor, even
right.
A stranger. If they were in need. And you're right about the brotherhood and the sisterhood and the people coming together in this time. They're taking it seriously, but we got to help each other.
Yes.
It's a reminder. Yeah.
Yes, even if it's and I love that it's provoking conversations about how to stay healthy, what to do in these times, and I've been having a lot of great conversations with friends who are also creatives and that are having this quarantine time by themselves, and it's kind of hard, when you think about it. If you're living by yourself, it's like now I can't really go out. It's like and socialize, and I'm a social butterfly. I love to talk to people myself, so I totally get it. But I think it's really important to talk to friends that are lonely and say, hey, listen, maybe today do a vision board, or sometimes when you've watched all the Netflix shows, call your family, rest. This is a good time to rest. I mean, I think it's a blessing in disguise, honestly, because when things start to pick up again, we're going to get right back immersed in our world of hustle and bustle and just being all over the place. But I think that we just have to take a time to reset, and I think this Earth is resetting too. That our planet needs a break, and they're like, look. We'll get back to you guys. Life will continue soon. Just, give us a second to regroup and get this stuff, our climate back in order and you guys safe again. So, that's how I'm looking at it. And I want to keep looking at it from a positive perspective,
Meosha being this too will pass. And I knew with your creative mind, this would be a muse for you. There will be some creative juices flowing, and you will have something on paper and on screen soon enough. Now, I did hear another tidbit is in China, about 25% of their emissions are down because of factories closing. So thank you, coronavirus. What? Really? No. But emissions are down. I guess the environment will be helped somewhat. And you were talking about the Earth needing a reset. That should be helpful. But people are losing their jobs. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
the economy.
I know the job situation. I think though, but you know what? It's like this. I always say, history repeats itself. Like it actually, things happen again. And this kind of reminds me of, well, it's similar to God, what was not the Black Plague, but there's so many things you could call this, because it's like, well, it feels like a movie in a way, but it's like kind of surreal. It's like, we were joking, I think at the beginning of this month, because my birthday is today, which is so funny. That
what? Happy birthday, Meosha Bean.
Thank you. Thank you. And I was joking. I was like, oh man, we're going to be stuck in our houses and it's going to be crazy. And I was like, that'll be a great movie. My friends and I were joking, and it's like, oh my God, it's actually reality.
Yeah, I believe it will be a movie. Meosha Bean, how are you spending your birthday? Are you getting to at least see one person? Have some time with anybody? A cake?
Yeah, I was actually going to go get some Susie cakes later. I love Susie cakes.
All right, what's a Susie cake? Let the people know.
It's this amazing place that makes these super delicious cupcakes. My best friend Angela, she kind of hooked me onto it, and I've been hooked ever since. They have a few Susie Cakes places, chains here in LA, but the cakes are so, the cupcakes are so yummy and flavorful. My favorite is the lemon one. Oh my God.
The fat man is intrigued. Where do people get Susie Cakes in the Hollywood area, LA?
Oh yeah, you get them Hollywood. You can get them in Hollywood. You get them North Hollywood. You can go to. There's a few places in like Encino that has them. California. So yeah, there are a few chains around. I would say just type Susie Cakes if you're ever in town in LA. Stop by and get you a yummy cake. And if it's your cupcakes are free when it's your birthday. So that's pretty cool.
You need to get out there. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, I see that there's some in Dallas too. The closest ones to me in Arkansas are in Dallas. That's cool. See, I never knew about Susie Cakes.
Oh, well, there you go.
This portion of the podcast brought to you by Susie. No, I'm not.
I know, right?
That was so good. Bean. Man, it's your birthday. Oh, I guess do I have to sing? I guess I'll sing happy birthday to you. Yay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Meosha Bean. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Oh my goodness. Happy birthday.
Thank you. My parents called me. My mom and dad, my sisters were on the phone. We're on a conference call. They called me this morning and they sung the birthday song to me. So that was really lovely, and we actually had a really cool healing conversation before I hopped on with you. So that was a really good day. That's a really good day to start.
Very good. Your morning. Celebrate you, Meosha Bean. Celebrate all the things that you're doing. What's on the horizon for you? I know you kind of alluded that you have a lot of things in the fire, but what specifically can you talk about?
Let's see. I definitely right now have Tea Talks with Meosha and Irina. If you guys haven't seen that, that's on Facebook and also YouTube platform. But now we've also moved that for people that maybe don't want to watch us for some reason. That we're also on podcasts. We're on iTunes and Spotify and all those places as well with our episodes. We're in season 2. We just wrapped season 2, maybe like a week ago or so. And that just came out. And we're talking about various, topics like, life, relationships, love, marriage, partnerships, self-discipline, all kind of things that we're talking about. But it seems to be that relationships is really a huge topic. People love that when we talk about relationships. So that's cool that men get involved in our show and retweet. And so it's really cool that people are starting to kind of give us feedback. So that's always lovely.
That's why men listen, Meosha Bean. We want to learn about women. I expect every episode that I watch or listen to you, I go, I want to know a little bit more about women. Our whole existence, for the most part, for any heterosexual man, is to please a woman, to make sure that they're happy. Because if women happy, men happy, everybody happy.
Very true.
Oh, so true. Well, what other things irons do you have in the fire, Meosha Bean?
Yeah, so there's a few different. Oh, there was a short that I was actually going to be shooting soon, but I don't know if we're actually going into production in April. I don't see that happening at the moment, but we're going to be shooting 7th, 8th, 9th, and the 10th. But I don't know. It was um a coming of age kind of film, but that was so it's about a guy who's well, I guess I'll talk a little bit about it,
Mm,
but it's not my movie. I was just hired to do the cinematography on the
cool.
shoot. But it's about a guy who falls in love with a girl when he was younger, and kind of being lets his stupidity kind of like he's young, and he's a boy, so he doesn't really know. He lets her kind of run away and go, and then they kind of reconnect it when they're older. So it's one of those kind of films, like second chance kind of thing.
Now,
So I don't really know if we're going to be going into
no.
production since the coronavirus.
Well, not just yet. Let's put that on hold for now. Now, the
Yeah.
Crazed short, is that the short that's included in the anthology?
Yes, it actually is.
Oh,
It is. I
that's cool.
included it in because a lot of people were like, well, what I usually do with short films, I don't just put them out immediately. What I usually do is submit them to film festivals to have a festival run, so they can get reviews through these festivals, because I like reviews from people, and I like just that interaction of other audience seeing the video, and then once it's done the run, I usually put it online, available for people to watch on different platforms, or I'll just put it. So I felt like it kind of fit the theme, and I was like, you know what, it's a finished one. I'll just add it in the anthology um, series.
Yeah. How long did it take to make that anthology? What those shorts are they all from last year or the year before?
Most of them from all last year, yes. And there was one I think we did, possibly the one with the dreams.
Mm.
That was this year. I just added that in because that was the earlier this year. That was like January's time. That was uh, that was the one of the girl. She wakes up. She's running in the blue dress, like
Yes.
kind of very Alice in Wonderland kind of vibes. That was a fun shoot. I love her, by the way. She's great, Taylor. Great actress, and that was. I felt like that was a really cool concept to add with the paranormal, because she wakes up from a dream within a dream. You're like, oh wait, this is a dream. Oh, okay, great, this is a dream, and she wakes up and she's just in a room, and then it ends with this thing in her room, and you're like, wait, she's in another dream, or is this actually reality? Like, you don't
Right.
know. So it's one of those like, um, like you just really never know. You have your own interpretation at the end.
Oh
I like to
yeah,
keep it
it's
open.
psychological. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm watching it. I'm going, man, this her mind is working so. I couldn't imagine what it is to be you. Do you wake up at night and just go, wow, oh, I need to write that down, or do you start creating at any time of the day at all?
Yeah, sometimes I have it's interesting. I don't dream much really.
Mm.
But when I do, I definitely think it's something to it, because it's like it's rare. I just hit the pillow and like gone. I don't know where I go, but it's just like
Well,
this
I'm
black
glad you could
hole.
shut down, because a lot of creatives cannot. They
Yeah,
stay up all night, especially after I do a show. And I should go to bed straight away because I have things to do in the morning. But I am at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, just thinking about the things that happened. What a good time we had, and you're thinking,
right.
I can imagine you thinking about all the things that you've written down and all the shots you've done, and go, ooh, maybe I could have shot that a different way, or
Oh yeah, definitely have those moments for sure. But I think most of the time the ideas come from like conversations with friends or other creatives. Like, you're just talking and we're talking about life, and then you guys both say something and it just like clicks. You're like, oh my god, I can write that down. That's actually really good. And you're like,
yeah.
oh, what did I do? And I'm just like, no, you're amazing. Thank
Well,
you.
I definitely hope you've thought of some things while we were talking today. How's Tuskegee 2020 coming? Tuskegee.
Actually, so about that, we're not going to be shooting that project anymore.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I was off of that project. They have somebody else on it. I don't know if it's actually going to be being shot, but there were some things that as far as like that just didn't really work with the contract.
Moving on.
Yes.
I don't want to end this on a downer.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Something in the night. Is that something that's going on?
Yeah, eventually we're gonna definitely pick that up. We're gonna pick that up again and start that. I think that the thing is that it's like if we can be in one place at one time, it's like because sometimes everybody's like all over the place, and to just get everybody schedules right and like plan that's I think the hardest thing when you're making a movie is trying to work with everyone's schedule.
I believe it. If you're working for yourself, it's easy enough to go out and do something, but you're trying to get 10, 20, even 30 people together. It's got to be hard. And that's, I guess as a filmmaker, and I've heard this, I haven't really made any films of my own, minus the selfie shots, but that you have to film things as people are available. Let's film your scene. Oh, not the whole scene, just your side of the scene, and then we'll cut it together with the other person's side of the scene, moving the camera that way to make it look like they were talking to each other when in reality they never met each other on set.
Right. Yeah. Very true.
Oh.
Yeah.
the way you wild? Do it. Yeah. And I was also watching your credits, and it had the created by Meosha Bean, shot by Meosha Bean, directed by Meosha Bean. I say Robert Rodriguez, when he does his whole thing, I think it's a shot, chopped, and cut, or something like that, or shot, scored, and cut. So amazing. Yeah, you should have that. Put your name real big and shot, scored, cut. All Meosha Bean. Just
thank you.
Oh my goodness! Yes, the creative mind. Yes,
it's you get there's a lot of people that you hire to do things and for me, I'm a kind of a creative that I don't want to just, if something doesn't work out or whatever, I'm not the kind of person where, you know what, it's not going to happen. I'm going to no, we're going to figure this out. We're going to get it done. If I got to be behind camera this time, it's okay. Even if I didn't want to do it that time, I just want to just direct something. I'll make it work and we'll do it. I mean, because with Anatomy, which is actually finally coming out sometime in April, I'm really excited about that. And it's on Green Apple. It's up there now. The trailer's out and it's circulating. So we're really excited about that. We've even was accepted into another film festival with that movie, which is really insane.
That's Anatomy of an Anti-Hero Redemption.
Yeah. Yes. 2020.
Look for that T-shirt.
Oh yeah. That's and we have merch and everything. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's kind of,
it's exciting. You got things coming out. I'm stoked for you.
Thank you. Thank you. I actually have a merch line as well. I just never really promote it. I need to start promoting.
Let's promote it right now. Where do we find the merch?
The merch is actually on Teespring. It's if you go to my YouTube channel, and underneath every video, it's advertised my merch line. I have a few people that bought sweaters and have coffee mugs and hats and shirts and stuff. But
I need to do that. I used to have a coffee press, or was it coffee press? No, I can't remember exactly.
I think I've heard coffee press.
Yeah, and that, if I made a buck off of that one, that's fine. As long as people are wearing the shirts, but T press seems to be the latest, and it's not so much about you making a lot of money off of that. It's people, wearing your merchandise and getting the word out about your projects.
Yeah, pretty much. And, and that came through YouTube partnership. That's the only way I got it. I mean, YouTube came and was like, hey, we have this thing where we promote partnerships things. They have a place where you just kind of make your merch and you send it off to them and they make it for you, or you make the store, they promote it, you promote it. You can, obviously it's money to do promotion, but it's definitely worth it. And just, to get the word out about your clothes, and they advertise it for you under your videos. So that's a really good way for people to see it. And once they order it, they ship it off and everything.
Excellent, Meosha Bean.
Which is great.
getting the word out about what you do. And hey, and thanks for all the good info on how COVID-19. Wait, when I do the news reports, it's the novel COVID-19 coronavirus. All those syllables I have
That's
to say. That's a mouthful. Thanks for all the info about what's going on in your neck of the woods and in Southern California, in Hollywood. Meosha Bean, last words for the people?
You know what? I would say last words would be just to, during this time, tell people that you love them, and just stay positive. It's going to be okay. And we're all in this together.
Well, there you have it, party people. Meosha Bean. It's so good talking to that nice lady out there in California. I know she's celebrating her birthday. My goodness. I didn't even realize. I had no idea. But I hope she has the best birthday ever. I know she's going to be stuck indoors, but at least she can call people and Skype people and get together that way. And I hope she does get a Susie cake and get the cake that she wants out there in California. I want to try a Susie cake. Maybe they deliver. Maybe after all this nonsense is over and we've squashed this bug, we'll all have Susie cakes. How about that? How'd that be? Yeah, that sounds like a great idea to me. Thanks again, Meosha Bean. And I did, as I mentioned, I did watch that project. So if you have signed up for the Amazon Prime, I encourage you to put the MVP Films Anthology Volume 3 Paranormal in your feed and watch it. It's 45 minutes of just blowing your mind and making you think about things. And, ooh, what if that happened to me? Scary, I tell you. Scary. Thanks again, Meosha Bean, for being on the What Makes You Famous podcast. If you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here. If you like what you hear, follow What Makes You Famous social media. Use the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Follow on Facebook at What Makes You Famous. Follow on Instagram at What Makes You Famous. Follow on Twitter at Makes Famous. And follow on YouTube at Keys Dan. Leave What Makes You Famous podcast a review and subscribe. Listen to What Makes You Famous podcast on Podbean, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, and almost anywhere you find podcasts. Tell your story on my podcast, What Makes You Famous. Call 501-470-6386 and leave a message to set up a time. You can support What Makes You Famous using the PayPal link, paypal.me/KeysDan. Email info@radiowhat.com. What Makes You Famous podcast is a production of Keys Dan Enterprises Incorporated at keysdan.com. Thank you for listening. Be on Radio What. Call 501-470-6386. Say your name, where you're from, and you're listening to What? The music you want is on RadioWhat.com. Radio What, the music you want, with another great quote. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. Narcotics Anonymous. The music you want is on RadioWhat.com.